I burnt the screen. Are you there, Sunny?
Good things come to those who wait.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I burnt the screen. Can you see it?
You burnt the screen?
Can you see the UFIT over the screen? Can you see it?
No, I can't see it. Sam, sort your technical issues out, please.
That's you.
Do you still need me in landscape?
I don't know. I'm just going to put it on Facebook now.
Oh, mate, what a mish.
I was a mish.
I talk about being nervous about an interview, and I was like, I can't get the flipping thing to work.
Trust me, I can't even see you now, so don't worry.
That's right. You're looking decent with a haircut.
That's it. Right, we're going live, I think.
Okay.
I've never done it. I've done it once like this, but I don't know how it turned out.
That Facebook thing is rubbish. I don't know what's wrong with it.
I personally think it's down to the quality of the phone.
Well, if I needed an iPhone upgrade, you should have told me, what, months ago?
Right. So,
tell me when we're live.
I think we're live in the group now. We're live now.
Are we? Oh. Hello, everyone.
So, the thing is,
okay,
I've got to figure out is, because obviously I don't see the Facebook page, I see you. What do you see? Just me, don't you?
I see your mugshot.
Don't worry, I think this is going to be fine. I just need a bit more technical stuff now. That's the problem.
Do you want me to be your technical support? Do you want me to load Facebook up on my laptop?
Sorry, I got it here.
Okay, we're good.
I got it here. Let's just check. Someone's ringing me now. God, it's all going down today. Go away. Go away. Everyone's just trying to get hold of me. Now it's ringing on. You know when you have Apple devices, you've got an iPhone, watch, just rings everywhere.
Oh my God, we're live. Okay, I'm going to shut down my Facebook, right? Because I can see myself and this is just weird.
Mate, at least yours is working.
Sam Hanney's technical issues.
Oh,
By the way,
I can see it now.
Can you see it?
You need to split your screen. So some people are saying need to split the screen, whatever that means. But
I need to. Is that correct? Is everybody happy with that?
That's it. There you go. Split the screen. So you see me, I see you now.
I see you. By the way, I'm really excited to see you after so many months.
I know it's been long, isn't it?
It's been long.
I think it's working now.
Yeah, it's working, I think. But I've shut down my Facebook so I don't get distracted.
You shut down yours, now I'll have two screens.
Wicked!
So we can see what's going on in the world. I've got some good questions for you, by the way.
I've already got my tissue ready.
Oh, you don't need tissue ready. I got some interesting information I didn't know.
Interesting information? Uh-oh.
Here's a big piece of paper. I've been making notes.
I made some notes on my phone as well, but I can't use them now. So we'll just freestyle this.
Yeah, we'll just freestyle it. Right, guys. Obviously, we are live on Facebook, but I think we have maybe potentially a slight delay on Facebook, but I'm sure you lot will keep up with the pace of what we go at. So, Sunny, thank you for coming on board. Like I said, you ain't seen me for a while, and I've not definitely seen you for a while. How long? Have I seen you this year?
You last saw me in March.
Oh, sorry, I saw you then. That's the benefit then. At least I saw you in March.
Yeah.
To be honest, I've got a couple of questions, but I think I want to share. I don't know if you know. I pulled off your results.
Sam.
And the reason why I probably want to start with this more than anything is because your journey shows perseverance, strong mindset, determination. It shows all this when you really look at the figures. So if you don't mind, I can go through the figures with you because you've probably forgotten. But basically, I've took your highs, I've took your lows, and I've took your mediums, and I've took your highs across your whole journey. So, for example, I'm going to be honest. I'll apologize for this. I didn't know. Obviously, you've been part of UFIT since 2017, right? That's a long time. Right. Actually, in fact, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So yeah, August the 31st of your first recorded weight. So the interesting thing, guys, the reason why I want to start with this, because I want you to really understand that most people, when you see someone, you think they've had a linear journey, you think they maybe had it easy. Sunny's going to go in depth about her journey in terms of where she wants to go with it. But I want to give you some insight. So 31st of the 8th, 2017, Sunny weighed 64.3 kilograms. 20th of the 2nd, 2018, Sunny weighed 61.9 kilograms. So she lost 5.28 pounds. Now, the interesting thing, let's fast forward time. 11th of the 3rd, 2019. How much do you think you weighed, Sunny?
I was about heading towards 70 kilos, I think.
66.9.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So she gained 11 pounds. Now, let's fast forward again. 28th for the 8th. This is the beauty. 28th for the 8th, 2020. What do you weigh now, Sunny?
As of this morning, 54.3. Put 54.7, I think you got boom.
Boom! So, your journey overall, you've lost 26 pounds, 26.84 pounds, right? So something to consider, guys. If you take the dates are random, but the dates are in fact highs, lows, where she's been. But also remember, this is from 2017 to 2020. So it's not been linear. There's been yo-yos in this journey. And this is what we're going to go into about these yo-yos in this journey, about what's defined Sunny, what moments in her life have changed, and go from there. But Sunny, start by telling the people who are watching, tell them about you. You can start wherever you want. I'll let you describe it.
So who am I? So I'm Sunny, short for Sandeep.
Sandeep, is it?
Yeah, Sandeep. Not Sandeep, it's Sandeep. Yeah.
Sandeep, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Sandeep's my full name, only on documentation.
Okay.
So let me tell you about me. I'm quite fun, bubbly. I take pride in my work. So I'm a doctor, currently working in A&E, and that's my specialty. But most importantly, I'm loving being a mum. So I've got a 4-year-old boy. He just turned 4, just June, gone this year. And what's the most important thing about me at the moment? I think one of the things I've learned, having been through this YouFit journey, which has definitely not ended, is how to put myself first.
Nice.
So I'm concentrating on putting myself first and trying to become the best version of me.
Nice.
So that's me in a nutshell, I think.
I'd definitely say you're a party animal. I can remember you were flying out to these nice holidays with your friends and just getting smashed.
Wow, they all have a story, don't they, Sam? You know what I was doing. That was called a coping mechanism.
Is that the official term? That's fine. If that's the official term, we'll go with that. Right, guys. So yeah, to give you some background, Sunny, yes, is an A&E doctor. She has been working throughout, obviously, this current situation. I'm sure she'll dive into that and challenges and issues she's faced, balance, exercise, etc. But Sunny, let's go back to you for originally start your journey then. So let's go all the way back to 2017.
Yes.
What made you start? What made you like, you know what, I need to get a handle on my health and look after myself? What was that moment for you?
Yeah, so when I came across YouFit, so I literally just Googled fitness, and I was already at a gym local to me, and my son was about 1 year old. He was about 1 year old, yeah, and I wanted to lose weight. I'd lost my confidence, and I still remember when I came to meet you, I was in like really baggy linen trousers, a baggy top, and just watching what was going on around me. So basically I'd lost my confidence, and I really wanted to just go back to feeling like what I did before I had him. So I Googled, came across yourselves, and it just said, do you want to book a one-to-one? And then there I was, and I was sitting on the seat waiting for you.
That's interesting, right? That's that famous seat. I'm going to call that famous seat. Eventually I'm going to like probably not even ever get rid of it. I'm just going to like archive it or something, because that seat's been such a valuable part of my journey. But everyone, it's like a big brother seat, I think.
Yeah, so it was all personalised with a plaque, and I thought, "Ooh, I'm special." And then I realised after becoming a member that everybody gets that. So I was like, "Fair enough." But yeah, no, I remember, and I remember Helen running past with her big water bottle, going, "Hi, I'm Helen."
He's definitely
So I
like.
still remember that. Yeah.
And then in terms of obviously, you wanted to start and you start looking after your health. How would you say your journey was? What would you how was it at the start? Was it hard, challenging, obstacles? What would you say there were?
So I started off with one of your D2S challenges, and it was really hard because there was me thinking that I knew a little bit about nutrition, knew about exercise, but I really didn't. So it was hard because I had a lot to learn in a short space of time. The other thing is I had to change my whole routine. So even trying to get 10,000 steps in used to be really, really difficult. So I used to plan in long walks and things like that. So the beginning of the journey was definitely very hard.
Yeah. And for example, how did you mirror that with work? Was it challenging with work? What obstacles? Obviously, when you work in hospital, it's not like you are to a time to a degree, but obviously it does fluctuate because obviously depending on the cases that are in front of you. How did you manage that? What was that like? So obviously people need to understand that this journey of yours, it's not been completely linear, but how would you describe it in working environments?
Good question. So when I first started at UFIT, I was doing some exams at that time. So I'd booked myself off a couple of weeks of leave. And then that's what made me join the gym because I could balance it. Now, the reason my journey wasn't linear is because I had personal problems, I had work shifts to deal with. So then that's why I went through a period of putting on a lot of weight because trying to balance out all my exercise, nutrition, etc. with work was very, very difficult.
Yeah, because obviously
When
you work shifts, right? Late nights, right? Night shift and day shift.
Yeah, so like for example, this week I'm going on to night shifts. Last week I did early shifts, then late shifts. So one of the things that I think UFIT has been totally invaluable for me is because, for example, Helen will check with me what's my shift pattern, and depending on that, I'll sort of adjust my food, adjust my exercise, etc.
Yeah, because that's a massive stress load, right? Going from especially a night shift to a day shift and switching that on. And obviously, that's what people really got to understand. Like some people have a linear job, so it's like 9 to 5. And then when you do have shift work, I'm going to be honest, I think shift work is a lot harder. It's a lot harder to manage, especially from a recovery aspect, because obviously your sleep's impaired quite a lot.
Definitely. And like some of my colleagues, which I know will be tuning into this and or will either watch it late or will watch it later, is that they'll be able to identify with me. So when I do a late shift, which normally finishes at about midnight, when you get home, you're absolutely starving, but you don't want to be having salads or veg. You want to open up the cupboard and like try and have a look for that chocolate bar. So, and that's where you get into trouble with your weight and your goals and things like that. But Helen's been giving me some really good strategies recently, so I've been avoiding that.
Okay. And obviously, what would you say to someone who's in the same boat, just obviously starting out? Because obviously, for me, I'm going to be honest, people that work in A&E typically can sometimes be the most challenging clients based on the fact that you have one, emotional roller coaster at work, two, the hours are very uncertain sometimes, and three, it can feel like, for example, it's never ending. So what
Yeah.
would your advice be to someone like that? Because obviously you've been through the choppiness and you're still going through it, but you're still managing to win. What would be your reason that you're winning now?
Don't give up, keep going. And Sam, you taught me this at the beginning. You used to talk to me about consistency. And I've only learnt that concept having gone through it. So it's not a marathon. Sorry, it's not a sprint. It's that just keep going steady and don't give up and try to be consistent where you can be. But it's totally doable.
Okay. And obviously, as you go through your journey, we always talk about this quite a lot, that when you go through your journey, you go through a head shift and things like that. Was there any epiphany moments for you as you went through your journey from a head perspective? Because I know now you say, oh, I need to put myself first. I know obviously my son, but is there anything that you went through in your journey where you had epiphany moments and gone, you know what, this needs to change? Because most people think fat loss is calories in versus calories out. And on one hand,
Yeah.
that's very true. But at the same time, for example, you've got to look in the mirror. And sometimes when you look in the mirror, it's very hard to look in the mirror and actually question what's happening. Why are you doing certain behaviors? Are you emotionally eating? And sometimes we can say it's work and sometimes we can say it's family. What would you say yours was? What would you say that when you turn that key it allowed you to just flourish? What would you say it was?
I think if I was to reflect now, there's two main points that happened. The first point was, you know, when you read out my stats from 2018, I think it was,
Yeah.
and I was going through a relationship breakdown. So at that point, I put on a lot of weight. I was really stressed out. And I looked in the mirror and I just thought, you know what, this isn't me. I really need to work hard and I need to be the best I can be so that I can be a role model for my son.
Yeah.
So that was point number one. Point number two was when the COVID crisis hit.
Yeah.
In March this year. It was a really scary time for everyone, and working front line as well, it gave me a massive wake-up call. And then when it took the gym away, which you guys are like my safety net,
Yeah.
you're my support network, and when I realized you guys weren't going to be there physically, and I couldn't go into the gym, I just thought, right, I can't let go of this. And then it motivated me to really make sure that I put my health as a priority, despite working hard, doing shifts, etc.
Yeah, because the interesting thing is sometimes there's always leverage points, right? In some people's journeys, I always say, people always talk about a why, and why is important. There's always leverage. So obviously being on the front line, for example, you can see what it's like, right? You can either can take that home and just brush it off and go, yeah, it's just all right, or actually take it face value and go, wow, this is something I need to look at, based on what I'm seeing, based on the environment I'm in. Typically it's something I need to get a handle on, because from my perspective, I'm going to be honest, I don't meet many doctors that,
Really?
trust me, I meet doctors, but you can let me finish.
Oh,
I don't
sorry.
meet many health professions, especially in the A&E or doctors or anything like that look after their health as much as they should do. And again, that's accumulation of things, right? Accumulation of hours, time. And don't get me wrong, if you really whittle it down, you can say these are excuses, but they are challenges. They actually are real world challenges as well. But then that's good that it gives you like a kick up the ass to go, you know what, I need to look after my health.
Definitely.
And how did you obviously structure your lifestyle from that point to where we are now? Because obviously, in essence, you're the smallest you've ever been.
Yeah, smaller than before even having Dylan, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm aiming for my college weight, FYI. So I used to be between like 49 and 50 kilos.
Are you ready for that? What that brings?
Go on, what's that?
It's going to bring more like dates, isn't it? And more men and
No.
more girl holidays.
Yeah, girl holidays, yes. Boys, no. Yeah, so how did I factor it in? I've just tried to be really, really structured, and I've realised, so having worked frontline now, and I don't want to make this about A&E, but essentially I've seen the worst it can be.
Yeah.
And my colleagues will vouch for that. So when you're dealing with life and death, you realise that every single moment really matters and it really counts. So there are 24 hours in a day, and I just think to myself, if I can put aside 1 hour for me,
yeah,
how much will that benefit others?
Okay, wow, yeah.
Yeah, so not just Dill, not just friends and family, but as in the patients that I'm seeing, I can only do the best for them if I am in a good place myself.
Yeah.
So what I've been trying to do is just structure in as much time as possible. So whether that be reading, meditation, a bit of yoga, and I'm currently going through my Met class addiction. So I tend to do Met classes about 4 to 5 a week, and I think that's what's really made a difference.
Yeah, because so you would say it's really, would you say like exercise or looking after yourself that 1 hour is non-negotiable?
It's non-negotiable.
Yeah, so when it comes to it, for example, if something else can crop up, that's a non-negotiable. This has to come first in order so you know it benefits everywhere else in your lifestyle. I take it.
Exactly. I think it's a massive ripple effect, and that's what I want people to know. So you have no idea how many people, and I think this goes to everyone, really look up to you or think of you as a role model. And one of my senior colleagues did a presentation about a year ago, and he just loaded up a slide and it just had lots of eyes popping up.
Okay.
Yeah, and I found that really interesting. And he said, you have no idea who's watching you when, and who will actually be looking up to you or will be trying to mirror your behavior. And I see Dylan doing it all the time. So I saw him trying to do a burpee the other day. And I thought, actually, he's watching me do my exercise. So based on that, I'm just trying to be conscious of making sure I'm doing the right thing at the right time. And I think what that means is looking after me.
It doesn't mean like you're 100% though, does it?
No, never.
I think the interesting thing is, I think this is where people misconsume things, where you have to be 100% all the time. But actually, remember, majority of people that are healthy or relatively healthy in terms of food behaviors, it's around 75% of the time. If you do majority of your behavior 75% of the time, you're going to yield on a consistent basis that yield the results you want. Because like you said, it's not the tortoise and the hare. You can go really fast and then basically go backwards 10 steps. Or you can be patient and consistent 75% of the time for 52 weeks of the year. That would yield a massive result, right?
I agree.
In terms of, obviously, I just want to touch on, when you put weight on or you was at your worst, because I remember a time at the studio where I didn't see you for time.
Yeah.
And I know that obviously you went through breakup and things like that, but like, what was it for you? Because I want people to understand, because I think a lot of people at this moment in time also fear coming back to the gym. And I get it in one hand, but I think a lot of it is their own mind and how they feel about themselves. And I know you went through that, because I can remember for a period, it's got to be at least 2 to 3 months I didn't see you. And I know we had this conversation when you come back, but what was like, how does it feel being, I don't know, putting weight back on? How does it feel that you feel like you've gone backwards? Can you just, I want to even understand it even more. So how does it feel?
You feel really guilty. And when you haven't been at the studio for a little while, you get into this vicious cycle.
Yeah.
And I'm quite a visual person. So when I'm working out, I want to be looking good while I'm working out. And I just felt really conscious because I knew that I'd put on weight. My gym kit wasn't going to look as good as it did. Everybody else in the gym, when they would have been training, would have been looking good. And I didn't feel that way. So that was one factor. The second thing is, I was really overwhelmed by everything. And I think my turning point was I was on a night shift and I went and stood on one of the scales and I realised how much weight I'd put on. And literally straight after that, the end of that night shift, so I'd finished in the morning, I came to see you and then you did my inches and I was like, oh my God, this is awful. And I thought, right, that's it. I've got to get back onto it. So I think what it is, you just feel really guilty when you put the weight back on and you just think, how did I get myself into that position again? But that's just the journey, isn't it? It's part of the journey.
Yeah. Do you feel like, do you feel guilty? Do you feel like you let the coach down?
Yeah.
Sam,
I couldn't face you.
I hear that. The interesting thing, I hear that all the time. I either hear, they don't say, the thing is, people don't say it, but they say it with their presence or their language or their excuses. That's what I've come to realize over the last couple of months, is that people don't directly say, I'm not coming back to the gym. They won't say that. They'll say something else. They'll say something superficial. It reminds me when someone's setting a goal and they go, I just want to lose dress size. Right? It's very superficial. But what I really want people to really get from yourself and get from this is that, one, I'm not bothered where you start, right? The main thing is, a bit like you mentioned, is that you just start again. Because if you look at, even if you look at your journey, you've shown that there's highs, there's lows. And when there's a low, guilty feelings, feel horrible, you put weight on, gym clothes don't fit you, you think everyone else is judging you. That's cool. But the moment you take that step just to take charge again is the moment then you take control. Because a lot of people think they're not, a lot of people don't realize that when you start again, or just put your front foot forward, you've took control. And when you take control, that's a good thing. It's when you let perception or your excuses become your justifications, and then they allow you to obviously feel like you're doing the right thing. But long term, it's not. Right? Because I remember training you when you came back in the gym, we were doing your program. And another thing is as well, that people attempt to come back in and lift the same weights.
Yeah.
And you're like, Sam, I can't lift these weights. I'm like, I know that, but let's go lower. Right? But
exactly.
Again, it's just a journey, isn't it? It's about consistency and learning. In terms of your learning, what do you think's helped you develop? So for example, I know we've had one-to-ones. I know I've been honest. I know I've said things. I know you have obviously had Helen as well. What do you think? How do you think your learning's been? How have you evolved your learning in your own eyes?
Oh gosh, I've learnt so much, and where do I start? I've learnt so much. I've learnt so much from nutrition to strength exercising. There's just so much I've learnt, Sam. And every time I have a one-to-one, I learn something new. But most importantly, which is where you guys are special from everyone else, is that you build this into our lives.
Yeah.
It has to be something that works for you and what you do. So I honestly, I've learned so much, and it's really difficult for me to answer that question, actually. But more importantly, I've learned a lot about myself. So when I'm struggling, I can feel it, and I know I need to deal with it. Whereas before, I would have just lost control, like I did a year and a half ago.
So when you do feel like that, for example, or you do feel like something's happening and you don't feel like you have control, you mentioned obviously you look at yourself. When did that start? When did you really start to look in the mirror and go, you know what? Actually, this is on me. When did you have that epiphany moment that actually this ain't X, this ain't to do with Y, it's to do with me and my behaviors? When did that start?
I think it properly started when COVID hit,
Okay.
So this is a very recent thing. I'd say it's within the last 6 months, because as I've started seeing changes, positive changes, it's made me want to do better and better and better. So I think it'd be in the last 6 months, really. And I think it's because I had a wake-up call, because, we were just entering a pandemic.
Yeah. How many hours do you work a week now then?
How's my working week?
How many hours do you work now?
Oh, it's beastly. Like the other week, I just did about 80 hours in a row.
80 hours? Wow. You're on par with me.
I know, that's why I said, can I come and work with you? Leave the NHS and come and work with Sam.
80 hours, that's a lot of hours, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of hours, and it's different shift patterns. But you know what? It is difficult, but like I said, it's totally doable.
I take it, obviously, your job's very rewarding. That's the caveat, isn't it, with your job? It's a bit like my job. It's very rewarding, so you don't mind putting the hours in. But I suppose if you don't get the recovery measures correct on the other side of it, they can be damaging, right? Or you end up in this vicious circle. Because one of the things, obviously, what I've noticed, it's probably definitely in the last 6 months. You've started doing yoga, haven't you?
Yeah, so yoga, and I remember we used to have these conversations. You were like, you weren't too sure about it. I'll say because we're live. Yeah, so yoga is definitely life-changing. There's so many different forms of yoga. So I've just found something that works for me. So that's made a big difference. But I work with a massive interprofessional team. So people of different grades, different specialties. And when I walk into work and they say to me, Sunny, you need to get a new uniform, or Sunny, you're wasting away, what's going on? I want to do what you're doing. It sort of inspires me to do even better.
Yeah.
So I think that makes a big difference as well.
Does that mean you got a new gym kit then?
Yeah. Did you not see my River Island top the other day?
I'm trying to think about what the kit you used to wear, and I'm going to be honest, it looked like a bag of shit, but yeah.
What? Oh, that's so that's so hot of water, Sam.
What? Just saying,
what was wrong with it?
You look like a trendy woman now.
Do you like it?
Your confidence is way up here now, love.
Yeah, now I've got like my midriff out, putting background music in the back of my sound.
Trust me. I expect it. Next thing you know, you're having like some Stella McCarthy kit and all that sort of jazz next.
Oh my God, I'm going to have to do a few locum shifts in A&E to pay for those. No, Sam, one of my goals is to be on your wall. I want to be in one of those frames.
I'll put you on there now.
No.
Okay.
November the 4th is my birthday. That's my goal. And I want to be on the wall after that.
Guys, you heard that? That's pressure, right?
Pressure's on.
Applied the pressure on November the 4th. When it gets to November the 4th, guys, I want you lot to remember this moment and call Sunny out and go, Sunny, oh.
I'll put on the best kit I've got.
That's it.
Sam, you're hard.
Basically yoga. Right, I've got a lot of questions for you, innit? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
What?
17.
How? Let's
17.
go.
So, first one. Describe UFIT in 3 words.
Oh.
3.
Can I do double barrel?
I don't know what that means, but yeah.
Life changing.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Fine. 1.
Incomparable.
Cool.
Oh, got my back.
I'll show you back. It's fine.
Can I have that one?
I got you.
Yeah, yeah.
The first two was great. Like I've never heard them words, but I've heard them. But you sounded great. But then the last one was just got you back. I thought you'd come out with something better than that. But yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah, but you do. You got my back.
Okay, fine. I thought you
You're
could
my
get.
fam.
I thought you got a thesaurus out and give me a better word. That's all.
I was like Googling.
How do you describe UFIT to people who don't come? So this is the interesting one.
Ooh.
So personally, even though obviously I work there, I still can't describe it. So
No.
how would you describe it to someone who doesn't come there? And knowing that you referred people. So how did you describe it?
Oh, so I did say, I said it was life changing. UFIT is just, you can't compare it to anything else that's out there. You guys are like a family. It's just, oh Sam, this is really hard.
I find it hard. The easiest way I describe it is, come and try it and you'll find out for yourself.
The proof is in the pudding. Although they don't let you eat puddings. I'm only joking. I'm joking. They do. No, you can't describe it. You just have to experience it for yourself.
Yeah, because obviously Nipper came because of you, didn't she?
Yeah, and a few others as well, actually, that I think of aren't there at the moment, but I'm sure Nipa will say the same. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's cool then. We'll interview Nipper next time.
Yeah, do it.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned from 2017 to 2020? One biggest lesson.
Consistency is the key.
Boom. Oh, this is a good one.
Oh no.
How would you describe the woman that you were and the woman you are today?
I'm going to end up giving a boring answer.
Well, I can fluff it up, so don't worry about that.
Okay, you fluff it for me. Okay. The woman I was somebody who was massively underconfident.
I'd say the woman you were was very underconfident, but very undervalued, and undervalued herself and her belief system.
Oof. I knew you'd pull on the heartstrings. That actually just went ding.
How would you describe the person you are today?
Ooh, confident.
Yeah.
Resilient.
Oh, that's a good word. I like that word.
And grounded.
Nice.
Always wanting to try harder to become the best version of herself.
The interesting thing, the best version of yourself, right? It's not a destination though, is it?
No, it's a journey, Sam.
That's it. You'll never get there because the goalposts will keep moving because you keep moving the goalposts.
I know.
Which is a good thing.
I think so too.
So, next one. What's your focus or other things that keep you consistent even when you feel like not doing it?
Oh, Dylan.
Main man deal, right?
The main man deal. So I will ask Dill at the end of the day, Dill, shall mummy do exercise? He'll be like, do it, mummy, do it. So even when I'm tired, he'll tell me to do my exercise,
So
which I think is cute.
He's like your preacher. It's like me, basically.
Yeah.
He's basically like me.
You mini Sam. Yeah. So Dill keeps me motivated. You guys keep me motivated. Helen will without doubt send me a message. And when the minute I see Helen's message, even if I'm at work, I'm thinking, oh, got to make sure I'm accountable. So that keeps me going. The other thing is seeing changes in myself. When I see myself change, when I'm feeling healthier, more energetic and more positive, that keeps me going. And colleagues at work, Sam, colleagues at work.
Have you put a picture together lately of where you are now to where you were?
So I've done a current picture. I'm too scared to look at where I was.
Trust me, you need to do it.
I know.
Yeah, do it in the gym kit that was at the gym.
Oh, shut your face. Was it that bad?
Oh, that's the only word, miss. I thought it was great. Yeah, I thought it was great.
Sam, I used to go shopping in that, thinking, yeah, man, pushing that trolley along.
Activewear. I've got the activewear on, guys.
Oh, this is live. Sorry, guys. You didn't see that.
This is the cheeky side of Sunny. Is there any words of wisdom you'd tell your past self?
Oh, keep going, and you can do it.
Do it. Here's a good one. I like this one. How do you find time to train whilst looking after your son?
Oh, he does it with me.
Does he? What if he didn't?
Yeah, I'd still do it.
Yeah. What do you tell him? Say, dear, I'm just training. You stay over there.
Yeah, so Heather will know. He takes part sometimes. So I'll either give him like a little mini project to do, or I'll ask him to take part with me, or I'll do it outside so he can ride along on his bike or something. Because I know I have to do it to make sure that I'm grounded, and I can only be the best for him if I'm feeling well and that I'm happy. So I just make sure I do that.
With the hours you work, how do you make healthy food choices? So this is a good one. With the hours you work, how do you make? So let's split it up. Let's split it to like a normal shift, which is I don't know, 9 till 5.
Okay.
And then we'll do the then we'll talk about an evening shift.
Fine. Right, a normal shift, which tends to be 8 till 6 for us, is normally the hardest one.
Hardest, is it?
It's the hardest one.
Wow.
Reason is because you have to get up really early. I don't feel like having my breakfast. You start work bang on 8 o'clock, and you probably won't get a break until about 1 o'clock.
And that's the interesting thing, isn't it? This is the interesting thing about working in the NHS. It's hard work.
It's really hard work.
Drafting, right? Because the thing is, the interesting thing is when you're actually in that environment, you put yourself last.
Definitely.
Because a lot of people are pulling you, like, right, Sunny. So you in essence put yourself last, and probably when you get to that moment where you have a break, you're like, oh, I need a release. And so most people sue between for food and that. How do you do yours then? Do you take food in? Do you buy it?
Yeah. So now, without fail, I will take my own food in, and I've got sort of small containers that are about the size of my hand, and I'll just portion control that way. So so taking your food in yourself, your own food pre-prepped, is key to this.
Do you prep that on the weekend, knowing what the week you've got ahead, or how do you do it?
Some weekends I'll prep. So this weekend I'll prep, and then I'll put a bit of it in the freezer, for example. Other days I'll do like big cooks in the evening, and then the following day I'll have that for lunch and maybe for dinner, and I do it that way.
Oh, okay. So you've always got something changing if you do it in the evening.
Exactly.
Okay. And so, for example, you'd obviously have that at work as well. How do you resist not having the biscuit? Or because obviously I get it. Sometimes you have a biscuit and I get it. But on average, if you look where your results are and where you're going, that obviously average is pulled down quite a lot now. But how do you stop having a biscuit? Because the interesting thing is, this is what I mean. You work in an environment where a lot of people are not on the same page.
No.
They're on the same page i.e. from a mission perspective, i.e. help people, but they're not on the same page from looking after themselves perspective. So therefore, for example, you'll have like, I don't know what you call it, a nurse or a nurse, Annie, who's doesn't look after her health, for example. She'll bring the biscuits in and stuff. Or there'll be a staff room full of biscuits or treats, or it's someone's birthday. You typically hear that when it's someone's birthday, they brought cake in and treats and stuff. How do you Miranda through all that?
Oh, it's been really difficult. So especially when the pandemic first started, we got so many donations, got so much stuff. It was unbelievable. So how do I resist? I'll plan for like one treat at work a week. So if I see something I like, that'll be my one splurge, so to speak. The other thing is, this will sound really bad. One of my colleagues that I work with quite closely in the office, I'll say, oh, I'll take one for him. So I'll take the biscuit and I'll offer it to him. So I'm probably not doing his health any good, but I'm still not saying no, but I'm not having it.
Right, guys, you hear that? So basically, making someone else's health a bit shit because she's feeding
He
someone else.
knows who he is as well.
Right. I think the saying is true. Women are feeders. Trust me on that one. Backtrack. I'm not sexist or discriminating, so don't sue me. Don't have a go at me. Let's flip it onto the evening shift then. How does the evening shift work? Do you eat overnight?
So night shifts, I will eat overnight now. I never used to, but now I will eat about 5 o'clock in the morning.
So you don't eat at like 12 then, or 10, take it?
No, so my my night shift will start between 10:30 and 11, and it finishes at 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I'll have food in the evening at home about 8 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah.
Then I'll work all the way through. I'll eat at about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, come home, and then I'll have like a small breakfast and go to sleep.
Cool.
So I'll flip my day over.
Yeah, it's about flipping your day over, right? And obviously creating that space between lunch and dinner.
Exactly.
That's good. How do you amplify your sleep when you're on the night shift? So you're on a night shift, you wake up, you're on a night shift and then you go to bed. Do you feel recovered in that period of the week? Is it like 2 days on and a day shift, or how does it work?
So I tend to do 4 nights in a row.
Wow.
So that'll be my pattern for 4 nights. So I'll miss out on 4 to 5 days worth of time. So on your first night shift, you're always in a sleep deficit. So you'll miss out on like 1 day's worth of sleep, 1 night's worth of sleep. But I do feel recovered. And the reason I do feel recovered is because I'm staying away from things like sweet things and caffeine before I go to sleep.
Oh, nice. So you don't on your night shift then you switch all that out then?
Yeah, so I'll cut that out. So I'll only have coffee before I leave the house, which will be about 10:30 at night.
Okay.
And I'll have no other caffeine.
That would be your only stimulant on a night shift?
Exactly.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's an interesting one, isn't it? Because obviously most people fall into that vicious cycle when you're on a night shift. Potentially they have a caffeine intake goes up. Maybe they have a Coke or a Red Bull or something, and then all them stimulants are accumulated over the course of the week. Obviously trying to give yourself that energy boost, but actually in reality it's causing a disadvantage, right, to your sleep.
Definitely. So I stay away from that because otherwise I know I'll have to wake up in the daytime and I don't want to do that.
Ooh. Don't know where you've gone, but yeah. There you go. Okay, so guys, that's how Sunny does her evening shift. If she's got some nice recipes, I'm sure she'll post them if you want them.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, here's one. I think you've answered it, but we'll just. What's your biggest struggle? Like the number one biggest struggle you've had?
What's the biggest struggle I've had? You tell me, Sam. So you probably know me better than me. You and Helen know me better than me.
I'd say most people's biggest struggle is when they know they should do something but refuse to do it for the better of themselves. So most people have an idea that you shouldn't do something, but actually in reality, if your gut's telling you to do something or to follow through with it, that do it. Because obviously, remember and what I'm describing here, guys, I hope Sunny won't mind, is when you're in a relationship, and this is probably a lot of people who watch this, when you're in a relationship, you've got to understand relationships they are a lot of work. Regardless of how you want to look at it, they are 52-week job, 180 hours a week, they are hard work. And you got to appreciate when people go through highs and lows, lose weight, lost weight, gain weight, or confidence shifts, dynamic shift, things can shift. But if you could go back in time, Sunny, if you could go all the way back, what would you change if you could think about the relationship side of things? What would you change in order to make it work if you could have, if you knew yourself sooner?
I think I would have worked on myself sooner.
That is a phenomenal answer. I'd agree with that. Because the thing is, for example, we work on ourselves. Typically, most people work on themselves when they're like 35, 40 in that category. And when you work on yourself, that's when you open up the can of worms. That's when you open up, obviously confidence a bit more. That's when you open up obviously self-worth. That's when you open up obviously Dylan's a little bit older, so therefore you want to take more charge of your career and so forth, so forth. That's when it can really start to change a couple of dynamics, right? But the answer is spot on. I think it's important. I think if anyone's watching this, guys, and you're not in a relationship or you're getting into a relationship, make sure you've looked at yourself first. Make sure you looked at yourself and what you want. Make sure you've developed. I say this all the time, that a lot of people stop developing after the 21. But you studied until what, 29?
So I studied, well, I'm still studying now. Studied until 24, 25.
Oh, wow.
Got married at 27, had Dylan at 28, and now I'm 32.
So that's quite a rapid transition from when you obviously from 24 to 32, right?
Definitely. And the irony, Sam, this time 5 years ago, it was my wedding reception.
Was it? On this date?
On this date?
Don't worry, I'll be your new man.
Boom!
This is a new wedding reception, guys. We've got people live. This is a new one.
We've been doing some dancing.
No.
I know how you feel about dancing, Sam.
You can keep that dancing to yourself. I'm no good at that. Danny would put a hand up to that.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Right, look, one more question.
Go on.
If someone was sitting on the fence about starting their journey, what would you say?
Do it.
Well, that's quite simple. And you
okay, sorry. I should probably expand on that slightly, shouldn't I?
Do it. Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
I think to be honest though, sometimes the simplest advice is the most important, right? Just do it, because obviously do it. Like you said, when we think about it, we can overanalyze things, we can overthink it. So then we overanalyze, overthink, then we don't do it, right?
Exactly. So there's a concept called present moment living.
Oh wow, I never heard that before. Where's that from?
I don't know. I took it off somewhere on Google somewhere. I think it's on my Instagram.
See the quote, so, rip it off and then put it on the Sunny's name.
Yeah, obviously. Obvs. So live in the moment. So rather than stressing about planning for the future, what tomorrow might bring, you actually miss out on this current moment. So if you're sitting on the fence, even planning for the future, you're wasting time, because right now you might be missing out on an opportunity. So that's why my immediate response was just do it. Because once you start your journey, you'll realize how important it really is for you yourself.
That's a good answer, Sunny.
Did you like that?
I loved it.
We should write it down, yeah, Sam. I'll ask it for you. I'll ask about it later.
I'll forget now.
Yeah, me too. I can't remember. Do it.
Just do it. Yeah, we'll just go with just do it.
Just do it. Just do it.
The interesting thing Sunny just said there, guys, is actually don't think too far ahead, right? That's when we start about fear, anxiety, too far ahead. Just think, be present and be who you want to be right now in the moment, and embrace that moment. If that's the moment you decide to look after yourself and decide to get a handle on your health, do it. If it's decided where you need to change your career, do it. But be present is always a key. Can I ask you one more question?
Go on, Sam.
When you're with Dylan, for example, how much does Dylan get your undivided attention?
Very good question. Are we ever able to give undivided attention? Question. Do you, for example, so when you're with Dylan, are you there fully present, or is your phone there? How would you say you are? So I've tried my best to put my phone to the side nowadays and try to be there. But I do feel myself sometimes wandering off. So if I am with him, my mind will go somewhere else. So recently, I'd say over the past couple of months or so, I've tried to stop doing that, because I'm trying to give him as much attention as I can.
Yeah.
But life is such that you can't always switch off from everything.
Of course. I'm just intrigued. I find it fascinating. Even to myself, I'm attempting to disconnect from my phone a bit more, especially on Sundays. But I just wanted to understand what your thought process was. How did you go about it? And things like that.
So
really.
One of my tricks is that I tend to take him out for like a walk. I take him out into nature. And when I go out into nature, it's away from technology. So that's another way that I try to just disconnect and just enjoy being out and about with him.
Nice. That's it.
But
That's the nicest one though, isn't it? Because obviously you don't need technology when you're walking, right?
no, and he'll pick some flowers or he'll be running around, and I just focus on him. So that's one of the strategies I have, because otherwise, if I'm at home, I'll just get distracted by something.
You're not turning him into a girl, are you?
I hope not. Sam, listen, when he's of age, I'm bringing him into the studio.
Picking the flowers, Sam. Picking this. I'm like, mate, where's the football, man? Where's the football? Just get the football.
Yeah, no, he's actually gone to football now.
Has he?
Yeah, he's gone football.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Yeah.
What,
Picking flowers.
I was like, picking flowers, yeah, pick some pink ones and then give them to his mum and stuff like that. It's fine.
Yeah, Mummy, there's a flower.
So, one more. Any lasting things you want to tell people that are watching this from yourself and your journey? What would you like? Just lasting impression. What would you like to give on someone?
Lasting impression. Learn to put yourself first. And you're not being selfish at all, but learn to put yourself first, and just remember that the journey's never going to be straightforward. There are going to be ups and downs, but just keep going. And I always like to say, ride the wave.
That's a nice one. Ride the wave. We've definitely, I think in the last 5 months, we've definitely ridden some waves.
Tell me about it.
But hopefully that wave will be short-lived.
Hope so.
Have you got a busy week next week?
I have them on night shifts.
Night shifts. Nice.
Yeah.
How many workouts you got planned in?
So I've got Monday Met class and Friday Met class. And then if my sleep's good, I'll try and do one midweek as well.
Cool. So you've pre-planned ahead then as well then, right?
I've pre-planned ahead. Because I know next week I'm at risk of splurges. So I've got to control myself. And also my sleep's not going to be 100% because Dylan starts school as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
this is a good question then. I like this one. How do you feel
about
Dylan going to school?
Oh, I'm really scared.
Scared? Cool. Obviously normal, right?
Yeah, I'm scared for him because I know when I look back, I really did not enjoy school. And when I am scared for him because I just think it's going to be a bit overwhelming, but I'm trying to keep it as positive as possible for him.
Yeah, do you have obviously, because a lot of parents who are watching this, they're probably going through the same thing with their children, right? It's obviously, it's an interesting time to send your children back and do things. How do you cope with like fear or anxiety? Do you ever get any of that? How do you cope with that?
Yeah, I just, when I have a thought that comes into my mind that I'm worried about something, I try to flip it and think, well, actually, let me turn that into a positive. So, for example, I was worried about, is he going to have all his uniforms? So then yesterday I was like, well, do you know what? He has, and I'm going to sort it out. So I made sure I got everything ready for him. So whatever it is that I worry about, I try to flip it into a positive and try to do something about it.
Nice. There you go. Great advice, right?
Do you think? I've learnt that from you.
Trust me, I'm full of great advice, I think.
I know you're all right. Not too bad.
Yeah, I'm doing all right at the age of 32. Not too bad.
I think I'm older than you by like 2 months.
I'd like to see what I'm like when I'm 40.
Yeah, I know. We'll have to do it.
I'll probably be an old man by then.
We'll have to compare notes.
That's it. But Miss, thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.
And yeah, guys, when you have the opportunity, when we're back in the studio or you do see Sunny, I'm sure she'll share her journey even more detail and go into depth and the challenges she's faced. I just want you to realize that, for example, from starting with YouFit, losing weight, going up in weight, coming down in weight, going up in weight, and eventually coming down, shows the level of achievement that Sunny's done, persistence she's shown, resilience she's shown, and the favorite word of the day, which is consistency. So, well done, Sunny. Be proud.
Thank you, Sam.
Next time I see you, some new kit. That'd be great.
Yes, boss.
Actually, I'll make you a bet. I got a bet for you.
Wait, actually, I want some YouFit kit, Sam.
UFit kit, the UFit staff uniform.
The staff uniform.
The UFit staff uniform, bespoke staff uniform comes out.
Yeah, I want the bespoke staff uniform.
Comes out in September, but I'll make you a deal. Everyone's watching, so I'll make you a deal.
Go on.
What was your goal? The 4th of November?
4th of November, 50 kg. Boom.
Okay, when you reach your goal on the 4th of November, I'll buy you a new kit.
Wait, can I take it one step further?
What? You just said I'll buy you a kit.
Can we take a picture and then frame it and put it on the UFit wall?
Yeah, of course. We'll have a photo shoot.
Oh, boom. I am on this.
Everyone heard it first. Guess what? I didn't say what kit I'd buy, but yeah.
Oh, for God's sake.
I'd buy a mankini. Woo! No, I'll buy you a kit. I'll buy you a kit to celebrate. Deal?
Sam, legend, done. Deal. Let's do this.
Boom. Peace out. Have a good day.
Peace out. You too. Take care, Sam.
Bye-bye.
Bye.